If you remember when a Road King or an old Goldwing could cross states without wrecking your back, you know today's comfort standards slipped for a while. But 2026 marks a turning point. Manufacturers quietly brought back real long-distance comfort. Thicker seats, smarter geometry, better wind protection, and suspension tuned for older riders who still put in real miles. Across the US, Europe, and Japan, a new wave of bikes finally respects the rider's body again. Tonight, we're counting down the 15 best and most comfortable motorcycles worldwide for 2026. And which ones truly deserve a place on this list, so stick around to the end. Number 15. Moto Guzzi, California. Touring 1400. The California entered long-distance riding with an attitude older riders recognize instantly. It is a machine built with the slow confidence of a brand that once stood shoulder to shoulder with American cruisers. The lines are wide, the stance is relaxed, and the rhythm of its engine carries that familiar old-school pulse. Riders who appreciate metal, shaped with intention, often find themselves drawn to this bike because it feels honest in its purpose. It is not chasing trends or trying to impress anyone with gadgets. It was created for unhurried miles, steady wind, and the quiet satisfaction of a machine doing its job without complaint. Many riders appreciate this machine's direct, uncomplicated feel, emphasizing comfort over flash during long hours in the saddle. Firm seating, natural bar placement, and traditional ergonomics recall cross-country simplicity. Though its presence remained limited on American highways, it earned quiet respect, despite being frequently overlooked among a loyal rider group. Built for long, unhurried miles, this touring machine produces 96 horsepower from a 1,380 cubic centimeter engine and delivers roughly 89 pound-feet of torque. Stopping power comes from dual front discs with anti-lock control, while suspension pairs a telescopic front fork with twin rear shocks. Wet weight settles near 761 pounds, seat height sits at 29.1 inches, and original pricing hovered around $17,990. The next motorcycle on this list shows how even striking character is not always enough to win long-term confidence. Number 14. Triumph Rocket 3 GT. It is rare to find a heavyweight motorcycle that makes its presence known even before the engine fires. Yet, this one manages exactly that. Riders who value steady miles often look for a machine that settles beneath them without fuss. This one offers a sense of authority built through balance instead of noise. Every line on the frame suggests strength, and each movement reminds the rider that real comfort can come from stability, weight, and a power plant designed to handle long stretches without strain. Experienced riders immediately feel the deliberate, grounded nature of this machine, responding best to smooth inputs and steady hands. Long tours become easier thanks to its balanced weight and fatigue-reducing stability. Though its styling divides opinion, the unmistakable comfort it provides over accumulating miles earns consistent respect from distance-focused riders. Power flows from a massive 2,458 cubic centimeter triple generating, around 165 horsepower, and roughly 166 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by dual Brembo front discs with anti-lock assistance, and suspension combines a Showa fork with a Showa monoshock. Wet weight lands close to 700 pounds. Seat height measures 29.5 inches. And pricing typically rises above $27,000. The next motorcycle proves that raw strength cannot guarantee lasting respect today. If you value honest breakdowns from a rider's perspective, take a moment to like this video and hit subscribe so you never miss a new release. Share your thoughts below on which machines you believe still set the standard for real long-distance comfort. Number 13. Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Voyager. Touring riders often search for a motorcycle that settles into the road with a steady, unfussed attitude, and the Voyager simply delivers that kind of calm presence. It offers a broad seat and relaxed geometry that older riders appreciate. The design stays rooted in traditional touring lines, with a stance that favors stability over flash. Riders who grew up on dependable cruisers will recognize the straightforward nature of this machine the moment they ease into the saddle. Long-haul riders appreciate this machine's steady comfort as it holds the highway confidently and smooths rough pavement with an easy, settled posture. It encourages measured pacing and familiar simplicity, though its age becomes clear beside newer touring models. Despite being overlooked today, it still offers undeniable old-school reliability for travelers. Touring comfort is backed by 74 horsepower from a 1,700 cubic centimeter engine and around 94 pound-feet of torque. Braking relies on dual front discs with anti-lock control, while suspension blends a telescopic front fork with an adjustable rear air system. Wet weight comes in near 894 pounds. Seat height reaches 28.7 inches, and pricing originally started at $19,499. The next motorcycle shows how comfort alone cannot keep a heavy tourer at the front of modern demand. Before we roll into the next machine, take a second to gear up. Trusted accessories are in the description. Number 12, Suzuki GSX-S 1000GX. Some motorcycles enter the touring world with sharp lines and a clear intention to blend sport performance with long-distance comfort. The GX arrived with that mission, offering a riding position more relaxed than the average sport machine, while still holding on to the quick response riders expect from a strong inline engine. On open roads, the bike settles into a steady rhythm, giving riders a sense of lightness not always found in heavier touring models. For riders who want comfort without losing agility, the GX delivers a distinct middle ground that feels lively yet stable. Riders familiar with early Japanese sport machines will find a familiar spirit here, blended with added comfort for longer trips. Modest wind protection and a supportive seat enhance endurance. Its clean profile appeals to those avoiding cruiser bulk, and despite being overlooked, it delivers precise, uncomplicated performance for long-distance riders. Sport touring performance is delivered through 150 horsepower and roughly 82 pound-feet of torque from a 998 cubic centimeter inline 4. Dual front discs with anti-lock braking manage stopping duties, and long travel electronic suspension handles mixed road comfort. Wet weight is roughly 524 pounds. Seat height stands at 32.5 inches, and pricing begins around $17,599. The next motorcycle shows how traditional touring routes continue to attract riders seeking familiar strength and comfort. Number 11, Harley-Davidson Nightster. Some motorcycles arrive with the hope of bringing new riders into the fold, and the Nightster carried that intention from the start. Its compact size and lighter feel offered an inviting first step for riders who wanted a simpler, more manageable entry into American cruising. On the surface, it delivered a modern take on a familiar shape, blending a narrow frame with a relaxed riding position suited for shorter trips and city miles. For riders who appreciate a machine that responds easily and carries little intimidation, the Nightster provides that comfort. During relaxed stretches, this machine settles into a steady, approachable rhythm. The low seat offers grounded control, and compact ergonomics suit shorter rides. Experienced riders may find limited space and modest power for long-distance comfort. It performs well in short bursts, but extended touring quickly exposes its constraints on rides. A compact American V-twin layout sends out about 90 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque through a 975 cubic centimeter engine. Braking is controlled by single front discs with anti-lock support, while suspension uses a Showa fork and twin rear shocks. Wet weight registers at 482 pounds. Seat height measures 27.8 inches, and pricing opens at $13,499. The next motorcycle shows how even strong branding cannot guarantee lasting attention in a shifting market. Number 10, Indian Scout Rogue 60. Some motorcycles earn attention through attitude alone, and the Rogue 60 stepped into the market with sharp lines and a stripped-down look meant to appeal to riders searching for a lighter, more accessible cruiser. Its proportions feel familiar, offering a low seat and narrow midsection that make it easy to approach. For riders who enjoy short, steady miles and a relaxed posture, the Rogue 60 provides a welcoming foundation. It invites newer riders with its approachable size, yet still carries enough presence to turn heads in the right light. During relaxed rides, this machine settles into a smooth, predictable rhythm that keeps the rider comfortably planted. Its stance encourages calm control, making it better suited for short trips and afternoon cruising than long-distance travel. Simplicity appeals to many older riders, though the mid-sized platform lacks the strong pull of larger cruisers, and compact ergonomics can feel tight. Still, performance remains steady for those who prefer an easygoing, restrained approach. Mid-sized accessibility shines through with horsepower in the mid-60s and torque in the mid-40s pound-feet range, driven by a 658 cubic centimeter V-twin. Anti-lock braking covers both front and rear discs, and suspension relies on a telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks. Wet weight stands near 560 pounds. Seat height rests at 25.6 inches, and pricing begins around $11,999. The next motorcycle shows how nostalgia alone cannot carry an aging platform through a changing market. Number 9. Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Some motorcycles survive on charm long after their platform has aged, and the Bolt holds tightly to that legacy. Its simple, stripped-down stance reminds many riders of earlier years when machines were built without screens, modes, or unnecessary distractions. The Bolt offers that familiar feel. It sits low, carries a relaxed posture, and delivers a steady ride that older riders often appreciate for its predictability. Nothing about it tries to impress through complexity. Instead, it leans on a timeless layout that values calm roads and honest miles during relaxed rides. This machine shows why it remained appreciated for years. Its seating position offers a natural reach, and the weight provides a planted feel on smooth pavement. It excels at casual cruising rather than demanding routes or long trips. Riders who favor low-maintenance machines may enjoy its simplicity, though aging power and basic suspension limit comfort and reveal how the platform falls behind modern expectations for many riders. Classic simplicity is supported by 53 horsepower and roughly 65 pound-feet of torque from a 941 cubic centimeter V-twin. A single front disc with anti-lock control manages braking, and suspension uses a telescopic front fork paired with basic rear shocks. Wet weight totals about 542 pounds, seat height reaches 27.2 inches, and pricing starts at $8,999. The next motorcycle demonstrates how familiarity alone cannot lift a cruiser that never fully adapted to a changing market. If you want more straight, rider-focused analysis without marketing noise, make sure you subscribe before moving on. Number 8. Suzuki Boulevard C50. Some motorcycles hold on to tradition with a calm confidence, and the C50 is one of those machines. It offers the kind of familiar silhouette many riders grew up around, with wide fenders, a sweeping tank, and a seating position shaped for relaxed cruising. For riders who prefer a steady, unhurried pace, the CI50 delivers a sense of comfort rooted in simplicity. It does not chase modern styling or technology. Instead, it leans fully into the dependable look and feel that defined an earlier era of riding. During casual rides, this machine finds an easy, comfortable rhythm. A low seat and forward controls create grounded stability, while soft suspension smooths mild bumps. Its classic layout works well for local trips, but shows limits on longer highway stretches, where modest power and basic components become noticeable. The weight also requires patience at low speeds, yet riders who appreciate traditional cruising still find it simple, familiar, and welcoming. Traditional cruiser engineering delivers around 45 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque, from an 805 cubic centimeter engine. Braking uses a front disc with a rear drum supported by anti-lock assistance, while suspension employs a telescopic front fork and a link-style rear setup. Wet weight registers close to 613 pounds, seat height measures 27.6 inches, and pricing begins near $8,959. The next motorcycle shows that bold styling alone cannot protect a familiar cruiser from shifting expectations among seasoned riders. Number 7. Honda Fury. Some motorcycles carry a presence that never blends into the background, and the Fury has held that reputation from the moment it arrived. Its long, stretched silhouette calls back to the custom era many riders remember well, when form mattered as much as function, and every machine carried a sense of personal expression. The Fury keeps that spirit alive with a rake that stretches forward and a stance that looks carved rather than assembled. Riders who appreciate the old days of garage-built shapes often feel a familiar pull the first time they see it. On relaxed stretches, this machine delivers a calm, steady feel that contrasts with its dramatic appearance. The long fork absorbs light bumps, and the low seat encourages an easy, measured pace. Designed for cruising rather than carving, it suits riders who want chopper style with dependable torque. However, its stretched geometry and minimal rear suspension limit comfort on longer rides, though it still bridges aesthetics and practicality effectively for riders. A long, stretched chassis is powered by roughly 67 horsepower from a 1,312 cubic centimeter engine and about 73 pound-feet of torque. Stopping performance comes from a single front disc and rear disc with anti-lock control, and suspension includes a long rake telescopic fork with twin rear shocks. Wet weight stands around 681 pounds. Seat height is 26.9 inches, and pricing starts at $10,499. The next motorcycle shows how even bold heritage cannot guarantee lasting momentum in today's shifting landscape. Number 6. BMW R18. Some motorcycles enter the heavyweight world with confidence shaped by heritage, and the R18 carries that intention in every line of its frame. It combines classic inspiration with a muscular presence that stands out immediately. Riders who appreciate old-world craftsmanship often notice the smooth flow of metal, the exposed shaft drive, and the long stance meant to echo early touring machines. The R18 feels substantial the moment you settle into the seat, offering a grounded position that gives the rider full control without needing to force anything. It is a motorcycle built for slow, steady takeoffs and long stretches of open asphalt. Once moving, the R18 delivers a deliberate, reassuring character. Wide bars promote relaxed control, and its low center of gravity keeps it settled at cruising speeds. Older riders appreciate its familiar pacing and steady, predictable feel. However, the same weight that provides presence can challenge low-speed maneuvering. The bike excels on open roads, but feels less friendly in tight spaces. Even so, its craftsmanship and unique style keep many riders loyal. Heritage styling hides a 1,800 2 cubic centimeter boxer engine producing 91 horsepower and roughly 116 pound-feet of torque. Braking is delivered through dual front discs with anti-lock assistance, while suspension includes a telescopic front fork and a cantilever rear configuration. Wet weight rises to about 791 pounds. Seat height sits at 27.2 inches, and pricing begins around $17,499. The next motorcycle shows how even long-standing reliability cannot shield a model from changing expectations. Number 5. Kawasaki Vulcan. 900 Custom. Some motorcycles carve out their identity through clean lines and a balanced feel, and the 900 Custom has earned that reputation for years. It brings a stretched, low-slung style that appeals to riders who value a long, lean silhouette, without stepping into full chopper territory. The riding position settles the rider deep into the bike, offering a comfortable reach to the bars, and a relaxed posture that older riders often appreciate. The 900 Custom was built for steady cruising, and it shows in the way it eases into the pavement without demanding constant correction. Once on the road, the 900 Custom offers a calm, predictable ride. Power arrives smoothly, favoring controlled acceleration over sharp bursts. Its weight adds stability, and the steering stays composed through sweeping curves. Simplicity defines its strengths, but limits suspension travel and load capacity. Even so, many riders appreciate its approachable, steady nature on relaxed rides for long trips. Mid-sized cruising comes from a 903 cubic centimeter engine with roughly 55 horsepower and about 58 pound-feet of torque. A single front disc with anti-lock braking handles stopping duties, and suspension features a large rake telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks. Wet weight reaches roughly 610 pounds. Seat height settles at 27 inches, and pricing starts around $9,399. The next motorcycle shows how premium intentions can struggle to keep pace when expectations rise across the entire cruiser landscape. Number 4. Indian Chief Darkhorse. Some motorcycles carry a presence that turns heads before the engine even settles into its idle, and the Chief Darkhorse has always held that effect. Its silhouette blends classic American muscle with a stripped modern edge that appeals to riders who want authority without excess. The seating position drops the rider low into the frame, creating a grounded connection that feels steady even before the first mile begins. For riders who appreciate weight, metal, and a sense of history under them, the Chief Darkhorse delivers a familiar confidence the moment it rolls out. On the open road, the Chief Darkhorse reveals the character that sets it apart. Wide bars and low seating create a commanding posture, familiar to heavy cruiser riders. Torque arrives with a slow, deliberate push suited for steady stretches. Its stable chassis and predictable control enhance comfort. Though firm suspension prefers strong pavement, longer rides highlight straight-line strengths and tighter route limits, appealing to those wanting a powerful, stripped-back cruiser with a muscular feel. This heavyweight V-twin produces roughly 90 horsepower and about 126 pound-feet of torque from a 1886 cubic centimeter engine. Braking uses dual front discs supported by anti-lock control, while suspension pairs a telescopic fork with an adjustable rear shock. Wet weight approaches 677 pounds. Seat height stands at about 26 inches, and pricing begins near $18,999. The next motorcycle shows how ambition can shape a machine that challenged expectations across an entire segment. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Pan America. Adventure motorcycles have changed the expectations of many riders, especially those who once believed large cruisers were the only way to travel long distances in comfort. The Pan America stepped into that world with a different attitude, offering a tall stance, long suspension travel, and a riding position that focuses on visibility and control. For riders who have spent decades behind wide bars and low seats, the first minutes on the Pan America can feel unfamiliar. But that unfamiliarity quickly shifts into a sense of command once the bike begins to move. The chassis encourages confident steering inputs, and the height offers a clear view of the road ahead. Across mixed terrain, this machine blends power and agility well beyond standard pavement duty. Its smooth, rising wave of strength keeps control on loose or firm surfaces, while subtle electronics aid traction. The riding posture reduces back strain once adjusted to, and although tall, the seat becomes a comfort advantage on longer trips. Adventure capability comes through 150 horsepower and roughly 94 pound-feet of torque from a 1,252 cubic centimeter engine. Dual front discs with anti-lock braking manage stopping, and suspension uses electronically controlled long travel components. Wet weight lands around 563 pounds. Seat height adjusts between 31 and 32 inches, and pricing begins near $19,999. The next motorcycle steps back toward tradition, while carrying the weight of long-established expectations. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Softail Standard. For riders who believe a motorcycle should feel like raw metal, an exposed frame, and a steady pulse beneath them, the Softail Standard continues to hold a familiar appeal. It offers a stripped-back approach that removes everything unnecessary while keeping the elements that define an old-school cruiser. The riding position settles the rider low and centered, bringing a sense of control that comes from sitting deep within the bike, rather than on top of it. The bars sit wide and comfortable, making slow-speed maneuvering straightforward for those who have spent years navigating heavy machines through parking lots and town streets. Out on the open road, the Softail Standard offers a smooth, predictable ride shaped by its low center of gravity and simple mechanical feel. The engine delivers steady, confident power suited for relaxed cruising. Its suspension works well for daily use, but shows limits on rough pavement. Simplicity defines its appeal, letting the bike's personality shine for traditional cruiser riders today. A classic cruiser layout is built around the Milwaukee 8-107 engine, producing roughly 76 to 78 horsepower and about 109 pound-feet of torque from 1,753 cubic centimeters. Braking uses single front discs with anti-lock control, while suspension includes a telescopic fork and a hidden underseat monoshock. Wet weight is approximately 655 pounds, seat height measures 25.8 inches, and pricing starts around $14,499. The final motorcycle on this list represents a return to heavyweight comfort and heritage, carrying the expectations of generations of riders. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. Among modern cruisers that push tradition into new territory, the Sportster S stands apart. It carries the familiar low-slung silhouette riders expect from a Sportster. Yet, the experience it delivers feels far more forceful and refined than the models many grew up with. From the moment the engine fires, the tone is deeper and smoother, giving the motorcycle a confident presence even at idle. The riding posture is compact but assertive, placing the rider close to the controls with a sense of direct connection that older machines rarely offered. Every response comes quickly, whether easing through traffic or rolling onto an open stretch of road. On longer rides, this machine blends stability and agility with ease. Its chassis stays composed in broad turns, and the wide rear tire keeps it planted at low speeds. Modern lines mix with minimalist muscle, offering cross-generational appeal. Though not a touring platform, it remains refined and stable over distance. Modern muscle arrives with 121 horsepower and roughly 95 pound-feet of torque from a 1,250 cubic centimeter engine. Braking relies on single front discs with anti-lock support, while suspension features an inverted front fork and a rear monoshock. Wet weight comes in at nearly 502 pounds. Seat height is 28.9 inches. And pricing starts around $16,999. The motorcycles in this list each show a different path toward comfort and character, yet this final choice represents the boldest step forward. That wraps up the 15 most comfortable motorcycles of 2026. A few surprises in there, and a few classics holding their ground, just the way riders like us expect. Now I want to hear from you. Which bike has given you the best long-distance comfort in your years on the road? Drop your story in the comments. If you enjoyed the honesty and straight talk, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more real rider breakdowns just like this. Thanks for sticking around, and keep the rubber side down.